Hi, Anthony Turris, folks. The good intentions have been stolen. But don't worry, I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you'll be lean and mean. That's right. It's the Friday show with Anna Vocino. Yeah, we're going to talk about what you need today on this Friday show. It's going to be a kitchen 101 where Anna Vocino, she's standing by right now in her kitchen and she's going to teach us what you need in the kitchen. See, you see, Anna, you see why I did that song like that?
Yeah, I got it now. I could barely hear it, but then I heard it towards the end, and it just makes me sad that um that Zoom will not let me hear your music anymore. It used to come through loud and clear, but Zoom has changed.
Well,
Zoom has changed.
yeah, Anna, can you hear me yelling into the mic when I'm
I can hear
what?
you. I can hear you just fine, but it muffles the music like it's playing through muddy water.
Got it. Got it.
And it
Yeah.
didn't used to do that. It used to be a dance party over here because of
Mhm.
what you were playing over there.
Right. Exactly. Not anymore.
No.
Uh, by the way, we need to say something brilliant and salacious before the show is over with because now Debbie is taking a clip out of every show and we're putting it up on Instagram. So, Anna, you're going to have to be brilliant for about 20 seconds at some point.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something, Debbie. Listen, we should switch to using either Riverside or what's the other one? There's another one. Not Riverside. God damn it.
Yeah,
Debbie, call me
I
because Zoom records very grainy, and if we're taking these and turning them into video content, we should be recording on a different platform that records higher quality. So that's not salacious, but it's truth. And sometimes you can't handle the truth. Vinny, you can handle the truth. You
well,
can.
here's the thing. It's going to be tough for me to go over to Riverside because I've literally yelled twice at my new best friend Mike Rowe for using Riverside.
But I'm going to tell you what it is because there's another.
I'll switch it.
It's Bill Maher's podcast producer told me. So if it's good
Yeah.
enough for Bill Maher, hold on.
I know there's someone was telling me about the.
Bedside, beds. No, not bedside. That's the name of
No,
the
no,
thing.
that's not it. I'm
Hold
going to
on,
know
it's
how to
called
say it.
Zencaster.
Zencaster. Yeah. A lot
Zencaster.
of people talk about Zencaster. Um,
We need to switch to that because then we can
uh,
have higher res.
yeah, I've yelled at poor Chuck Klausmeyer um, several
Don't do
times.
Riverside.
And then I yelled
Zencaster.
at Mike and I said, Mike, you got to get him to stop. You got to get him to stop.
What is he hooked on Zen Riverside? He can't
Oh,
get enough.
yeah, he's all gacked up on Riverside, man.
Oh God.
He's on Riverside Mickey.
I knew Mike Rowe was too perfect. He's too perfect.
He is. But it's turning out that Zoom is not what it used to be. It's somehow getting, washed down a bit. And we may do that this week because, a lot of people are telling me a lot of things are going
Yeah.
on. So,
Let's figure it out. Because putting the video up, and by the way, we're recording this whole thing in video. I think she should be able to get a lot of clips of stuff, and it bums me out that it's going to be lower res, you know?
well, I'll put one up today with me and Ivor Cummins, and it looks pretty good because it
Okay, good.
finally did the thing. Look, you can see it on it. You see me, and then it pops to him. So it's not just two people on the screen. You just see me on the
Editing.
screen, and watch this.
Eh,
Yeah, Debbie did that. Now
There.
it's over to him.
Get it, Debbie.
You know what?
Get it, girl.
Debbie's my girl. You know that.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, oh,
All right. So
I know.
listen, we
And you're
have
not just saying that because you're absolutely terrified of her. We're
a
going to talk about cooking today.
little scared. Yeah. So
Yeah.
look, a lot of times I people call me and they'll say, "Look, Vinny, I don't want to go to the gym." I'll say, "Why don't you?" I'm scared of the gym. I did a thing. I
Right.
can't do this every time, folks, but I had Jen Mendyka on the phone on a consult last week, and she
Right.
had a private gym. There was no one else in the gym, so we did a FaceTime. She walked around, and I said, "Go find this machine and show me that machine," and she was showing me on the FaceTime, right?
Which you can't do at a public gym because that would be rude. Then you'd be the
Well,
asshole at
you
the
can't
gym
you
being
can't do
rude.
that. You can't do that. You
Yeah.
have to take pictures of it.
Right.
She works for the government and there's a gym. Nobody else was in this gym and we were
Right.
able to do it. Um, but I can't do that. I did that with uh, uh, Robin Dobbins. I knew she was
Yeah.
her thing wrong on the concept too, and I got Matt Dobbins to hold the camera at eye level and
You did it.
the
You did
coach.
it for me.
Right. I've done that for a lot of friends. I can't do that
Yeah.
for everyone, but I do a lot of that. I Okay, I'm not intimidated by the kitchen. You know me, I grew up in a kitchen. I'm Italian.
Right.
So I would be
Right.
lying if I said I was intimidated. I don't know where everything is in our kitchen. I know we have it because Serena is an excellent cook and she has everything.
Right.
But and
She's a great cook.
sometimes I'll be using a certain thing and she'll go, "Oh no, honey, don't use that one." If I didn't
Right.
dirty it yet, she'll say, "Use this because you're going to get that."
Right.
That's what you're going to do for us today.
That's what we're going to do. And also, but I would venture to say, even though you're not intimidated by the kitchen, you're probably standing in front of the door or the cabinet where Serena needs something at any given moment.
Every
That's
effing time, bar none. She goes, "You're in the way." It's like, honey, you told me to come here and to cut up the garlic. I came here. I'm cutting the garlic. This is where
doesn't matter.
you put
Yeah, it
the
doesn't matter.
thing right
You
here with the knife and said, "Go cut that garlic."
you psychically know exactly where she needs the thing, so you're going to stand in that place, and
She
then you'll move, and she'll need the thing from there.
One day I had enough of her. I literally left the room to went and pour. It was a weekend. I went to pour myself a drink. She came over there because she was looking for some lemons or something. She goes, "You're in my way." I said, I left the kitchen. I'm in my area. You don't even drink.
Right.
I'm now in
True.
my area. And you
Do you
came,
keep lemons in your area? That's weird.
yeah, as people do, sometimes live.
Oh, because of bar garnishes,
Yeah,
citrus garnish for the bar.
got the,
Okay, that's
got the
fair.
stuff. Yeah,
That's fair.
I got a coffee bar, you know.
Let me do this first. You talk about Villa Capelli while I got the 3 liter tin here. I just wrapped the bubble wrap off of it.
Okay,
I haven't
wait.
even
All right,
popped
hang
the
on.
top.
I'm starting this ad with, are they in stock?
I don't know. This is my last 3 liter tin. I
Folks,
ordered this like 4 months ago.
if they're not in stock, get on the list.
There we
See,
go. Look at that.
Anna and I, ooh, look at that pro move. I pull it straight up. You wiggle it up.
I wiggle it. I don't have the brute strength to
Yeah,
pull it up.
Serena goes, "Come in and do this," and I do it, with my manly strength with forearms. I use my toxic male, whatever,
Your
masculine.
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I use that.
Your low high T.
Yeah, I do that.
Thing. I'll throw that out.
And, but you wiggle it up, Anna. That's a pro move.
If you get it on your hands, just rub it in your hands. Don't wash it off your hands. This is gold.
Anna,
You want
can
to
I
use
say
it as
something?
moisturizer. Yeah.
I may or may not have had 3 jiggers of Villa Capelli today.
I might need to have some.
Three.
I'm hungry.
That's 3 ounces of Villa Capelli. I just drank today.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
You know,
Oh. If you decant your olive oil like I do, you'd probably get this thing gets pretty nasty because you have dirty hands. Oh yeah, wash this thing.
So Villa Capelli, folks, I'll tell you what I did with my first jigger this morning. I was sipping it while I was eating boiled eggs, and that's because I put salt in the jigger with it.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was
so good.
I started dripping it onto the boiled eggs. Oh, nothing, just the best eggs I've ever had. Villa Capelli olive oil.
Can you see that pouring in?
It's liquid gold. I'm looking at that.
Smells amazing.
You know what? I'm going away from NSNG. I'm going on to the olive oil diet. I'm just going to eat olive oil for a whole year.
Great. Perfect.
.com. So that's what I'm, folks. Look, olive oil.
3 liter tin. We'll put this back. Look, it has a little picture of Paul. We're gonna put this back here. We'll put it next to the.
When I was a wee lad, when I was a kid, my grandmother used to rub this stuff in our heads. That's why the other
By the way,
kids called
watch
us
this.
Italians.
This is how much I don't waste it.
Yeah, no, you get it on your hand and you rub it in there, right? Anna.
I'm gonna put it on my arms because my arms are always
Put a
dry.
little bit on your lips, and let me tell you a pro move.
Well, I got my gloss already.
All right,
I'm putting it on my arms.
I
my
am.
arms are dry.
Anna, a little bit.
It feels so good.
Put it on your nose, like right there in your nose, like right in your nostrils, right there, like that.
Like
Yeah.
A cocaine situation.
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
I always, especially in the winter.
Oh my God, my arms are so smooth.
Villa Capelli, folks, is not just for
use this
for wearing. When Paul was still alive, I actually rubbed some of my testicles one day on the show. That's right.
On the show.
I know it sounds gross. I know women don't like to talk about testicles and whatnot, but
still don't know why you did that
I was
exactly.
trying to get rid of my third ball. I thought maybe it could heal my third ball. Turns out
It
it didn't
didn't.
work.
No.
I had to go to a doctor and get it cut out.
Yeah, we can't make that claim.
Yeah.
So
I had
I
another problem
oh I'm
over on
I'm
my
gonna roast I'm gonna
hydrostatic.
roast some tomatoes. So go ahead because I'm gonna use Villicapelli.
So Villica,
Um,
promo code Vinny, Vinnie. If they don't have it, get on their list. But you can buy other stuff at Villica Valley. Um, just get the stuff. I get it. There are other oils out there. People are always asking me on Twitter. They're out. What else can we get? There's stuff out there. Debbie knows of a few of them. So get Tiger Dog over on how you say the Instagram, not Instagram, Twitter, and she'll show you this UC Davis olive oil study and get you there. Okay.
and by the way, it should be back in stock. I mean, it's been in customs for forever. So
Yeah.
when you sign up, just make sure you put your email in there in the slot of the product you want to get. 'Cause when Steven puts them back for sale, jump on it. Just get that email and immediately go buy it. Okay, so some things that you're going to need in the kitchen. You're cooking NSNG, and let me say this, Ben. When people say to me, this is the same thing that like when you hear people are afraid of the gym. When people say, they say it to me bragging. I don't cook. I burn water. I, um, oh, so and so does that for me. This weird flex that people have where they're like, it's cool to not make your own food or something. I don't know what that is.
I don't,
Is that like a rich, is
I
it like a
don't
rich
think,
person flex? What
no,
is that?
it's, it's a generational thing. It's almost like I've had friends, Tallulah's friends or whatever, they'll go, yeah, I got a flat. I have to call AAA. I was like, what? Why didn't you change it yourself? Oh, I don't know how to
Right.
change the flat. It's like proud to say they couldn't do the simplest task that every kid knew how to do when we were growing up. You just knew how to change it.
My mom took me outside and taught me how to change a flat tire. I know how to change a flat tire.
Because inevitably you were going to have to do it.
Right. And I did several times.
And on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like people will say to me, neighbors, they'll go, you cut your own grass? Yeah. I don't know how to cut grass. What do you mean? You pull a string, you walk. How hard is it to cut grass? I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't get any simpler.
Well, I think some of it comes from we have been sold the bill of goods that we should buy convenience food, that we should buy the pre-prepared food, that you should be spending all of your time making money and not any time preparing any food. And I would like to demystify this as like, make food with your family. Make food as a matter of like, it's literally an act of self-love. And I'm not that woo-woo about the whole self-love thing. I'm
Right.
a comic for God's sake. But it's literally like one of the most loving things you can do is to make delicious food. And I think that if you hear yourself saying those phrases and you're sticking to the whole identity of like, I don't want to be known as somebody who cooks,
Right.
there could be a level of feeling intimidated, and I want to demystify that because there's no need to feel intimidated. We make very simple meals with NSNG. It's just a matter of, and it's usually meats. If you haven't grown up working with meats, feels like I don't know if it's cooked all the way. I don't know, like, what am I doing? Am I cooking it correctly? Am I overcooking it? I just spent $20 on this meat and then I overcooked it. So I get that fear is real, and it will take a little bit of startup time. But that's why my books are designed the way that they are, is for you to feel unintimidated and just follow the recipe. And eventually you'll commit it to memory after a few times of making it. And then you'll start changing it. And then you'll start getting really knowledgeable about it. But the kitchen, too, is a thing where a lot of people don't have the things. I've spent a lifetime buying kitchen stuff and figuring out what works. And so I just want to, first of all, baking sheets in multiple sizes will come in very handy.
Right.
I'm roasting some cherry tomatoes on here because it's a great way to, these are about to go bad. By the way, roasting anything that you have is a great way to use something about to go bad. And then you season it with herbs that you bought that you never used that are about to go bad. So that's just a trick of knowing how to do things. But I prep steaks on these things. I roast things. I have a roasting pan for like a bigger chicken, but I just want you to know that these baking sheets are important, and you will use parchment paper shit ton. Parchment paper and foil, you will use a shit ton. Um, Parchment paper just seems to bake really easily and things don't stick to it. We used to have something called non-stick foil before
Yeah.
the pandemic. I've only recently seen it come back, and
Well, wait, Anna. I use foil. Serena uses when we cook fish
oh,
and think she uses the
There's a bad
parchment
one. We'll
paper.
throw that one out.
But you're telling me that I still use foil. What do you mean
You
non?
can. You can. So here's regular foil, the Reynolds wrap. This is probably what most people are going to get. It's available in most grocery stores. So there used to be one that has a little yellow thing that says
Right?
non-stick foil. And what it was a foil that had an extra kind of waxy coating on it. So when you were making like chicken legs or not gluten-free, NSNG pizza, it wouldn't stick.
Anna, can I
Um,
tell you something I learned 2 seconds ago?
yes,
Because Serena, I guess, always buys that foil.
yes,
I just assumed that all foil, that's the brand we use, and it's got the little tip.
yeah.
I assumed that all foil was nonstick.
Well, it sort of is, and I'm sure there's a coating. I can feel a coating on here,
Right?
but the non-stick is the thicker coating. And for a while during pandemic, it disappeared. Well, I wrote the second book before pandemic, so I was using that a lot. So I just want to show you that you can use parchment paper interchangeably with foil when you put stuff
Yeah.
down to roast. Um, do not get parchment paper confused with wax paper. Now, this is a brown parchment paper. They also come in white.
Right.
Do wax paper, if you put that in the oven, will melt into your food and possibly catch fire. You don't want that. Wax paper is great for if you're reheating something in the microwave and you want to keep it from splattering, put some wax, just put a piece of wax paper over it, and it's fine. Wax paper is one of those things that I rarely use. I think I've had the same thing of wax paper for 20 years. So
Anna,
that's just,
Anna, you ever do that Italian thing where you take the wax paper, if you got like especially like a whitefish, and you make the tint over it?
you want to use parchment paper. Don't use
Yeah, you
wax
used
paper.
it. Yeah, you used it.
Parchment paper.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yes,
that
absolutely.
really
All the
gives it a
time.
nice. That tint gives it a nice cook.
It's
Um,
called
I
it's
even know that.
called yeah, it's basically like fish and paper. It's like poisson papier. Um, it's great. And it's a great way to season the fish and not overcook it because the moisture goes back in and cooks it without it all evaporating out. Because when you cook fish, you got to keep an eye on it. So I'm just gonna do salt and pepper on these guys, and then always Redmond's. There we go. So yeah, so baking sheets are very essential. You can get some from Target. I've had the same baking sheets for years, and then just when I moved up here, I just got a new set. Not a big deal. I'm going to cook these about 350 for. I like them to get pretty browned. Now, I want to very often in my recipes they call for a large flat-bottomed saute pan, and so that's because I want things to be really easy. This is a large pan. I think this is 10 inches in diameter. Let me measure it. By the way, all this stuff is at my site, links to it, and you don't have to buy it through that. You can just click through and see what it is. Yeah, this is 10 and a half inches in diameter. And that's what she said. And what you want is it's a much higher, it's a higher side to this thing. This is made by Le Creuset. All Clad makes them. Everybody makes them. And it's got a good nonstick and it lasts for a
You
very
can't.
long
Can you
time.
find that stuff at Target? You can't find La Creuset at Target, right?
No, I don't. I don't think you can. That's from the outlet, though, the Le Creuset outlet. So if you have an
Oh,
outlet, you can get
really?
it there. It's hard to get on their website, but it's cheaper at the outlet anyway. I got that one for.
Well, I
I've
can
had
tell
this
you.
for like 10 years, and then Lauren just got me this for Christmas. So I
Yeah.
got a new one, and look, it looks brand new. Like
Okay,
that's next
here's the
best for
bottom
Christmas.
line, folks. You buy La Creuset, and you're going to have that stuff lifetime. You look at the
Yeah.
price and go, I'm not spending much. No, it's a one-time purchase. This stuff never goes away. You buy cheap,
So
buy twice. That's what I always say.
I want to show you guys. Here's a pan that I inherited from my mom. By the way, that's the top for this thing, but it also fits into this. This is an emerald stainless pan, and I do use this a lot as well. But when I want to make sure there's nonstick, so I cook a lot in both of those. So I wanted to show you guys that. When I first got a little bit of money, I bought a whole set of Cuisinart stainless, the most I could afford, and I use this one a lot. This is a 12-inch one. I use this one a ton. However, I kind of steered away. I use the saucepans more. I've now steered away from recommended sets because it was like $700 for a whole set. And you use like 4 pieces instead of all 12 pieces. Let's be honest. But I was so excited to be able to get that, and I'm glad that I got the lids and stuff. So if you have a set and you don't use it, you might, and some of these pieces of this set I've given away because I just don't use it. I kept the pieces that I use. Now, this is the other thing that I use all the time, and I strongly, strongly recommend getting one. This is a Lodge cast iron. This is 8 inch, I believe. Let me measure. Should we measure the bottom side because they flange out a
That
bit.
looks like the
Yeah.
same one. That's the same one.
Yep.
I cook in one pot, folks.
Yep.
And my
This
lot
is it.
is it's my life. Serena says I take better care of that than my skeet shotgun, um, which
You're
is
going to
hard to
want
believe.
to either buy the handle because it's hot and you will burn your hand. The number of times I've touched this thing is idiotic, but I have, or, you're going to want to use a rag on it. So I
These
just want
nice
to show
little
you.
leather things you could put over that.
Yeah, you can do that too. I'm sure Etsy probably sells like really cute things too that you can put on it. So those are all very important. And then the other thing that I have as far as nonstick is I have a smaller pan that I'll just do vegetables or chicken in.
Hmm.
And then of course I love the egg pan. Now I don't make eggs very often because I don't have eggs very often. Lauren eats eggs every morning and he uses this exact pan. And these are all clad. Great. You could use your Lodge for that. It's just we're obviously are going to have a lot of pans considering what I do for a living.
Right.
So I just wanted to show you guys that. Now, saucepans, you were talking about the Le Creuset. That's my all-time favorite. It's called a Dutch oven or a pot. That's a pot. Dutch ovens usually come with those stainless sets, and I've maybe used it once back when I used to make
What's it? I don't
pasta.
know. What's a Dutch oven?
Dutch oven is like the big thing. Like the Le Creuset is a Dutch oven, and they come very tall sometimes, like a lobster pot.
Right.
But that's called a Dutch oven. So the Le Creuset, though, I must use that at least once a week. In fact, I can't believe I haven't bought a second one. Lauren found my Le Creuset at Marshall's and gave it to me for Christmas in 2005, and it was $180, and now they're $400. So it is a big investment, those Le Creusets. I get it, but go to the outlet if you can and get it from the outlet. So
Folks, the one we have, Serena brought from England with her, and
yeah.
Serena's 61 years old. She's been here since, so she's had that since the 80s, and we still use that thing daily. Not daily, probably 3 or 4 days a week.
I mean, sauce pots are pretty explanatory. So when I say saucepan, these are saucepans. Okay. So when I say saute pan, these are saute pans. The flat ones, saute is the French word for jump. So you're heating oil and then you cook things so that it sizzles. That's why it's called a saute pan. Saucepans are pretty obvious. And I go down to some pretty small because I like to melt butter and be exact. And if I'm making clarified butter or a little sauce, but you just really, a couple of saucepans will make your life amazing. You can boil your eggs in there, which is mostly what we use, or we have to make rice for the dog food. So we use the saucepans for that. That's really kind of heating up milk maybe for a recipe. Now, the other thing I do like, and I cannot find, this is actually missing the other handle. Remember these, Vinny? So you put the water in there.
It's a steaming system,
It's a
right?
steaming pot. I love this thing, and the handle broke. And so we just have to make sure you use it. I had never found one. There's inserts you can put in, I know, but I love this pot so much. And if you guys are watching the YouTube and you know where to source one of these, tell me because I will order another one and put the link on my site. So I like to sometimes just steam some broccoli. Usually it's broccoli, let's be honest, and I put my dill on there and drizzle olive oil, and it's great. Other times I'll roast the broccoli and then I don't need this thing, but it's just nice to have. I'm not going to get rid of it because it works so well. It's perfect. It's
We
got the
keep one. We have one around here. It's so old, but I'll go see what brand it is later on.
I have been looking for a replacement for a single steamer. Now they have these giant steamers, but I'm like, I don't want a giant
No,
pot.
ours is about
You know
that.
what I'm talking about, right? Like regular
Yeah,
saucepan
yeah,
size.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love this thing. So yeah, and then I just have a bunch of extras. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and prep some steaks while we're talking. What I am a huge fan of the wooden spoons, spatulas, the whisks. Now I have to buy a lot of wooden spoons because I have to take pictures with food, and so I have to buy cute things. But
Right.
the things I use the most are all in here. And this seems like I'm getting too granular, but I'm telling you,
No, this is fine. Yeah.
the moment that you don't have the thing that you need, okay, this wide spatula by Calphalon is my all-time favorite spatula because it's literally the size of a fried egg. So you can flip an egg, you can flip, a chicken or a hamburger. It's like, and what the reason why I buy this kind is, and not the metal ones, is because I don't want to scratch up the pan. It makes your pans last longer. So I'm a huge fan of that. Wooden spoons are very necessary for stirring sauces, for heating. They won't get super hot. You can just hold them. These guys, I've melted this thing. Again, I love this one so much that I bought a second one that has the holes in it. Um, so the other thing that you're going to use a lot are tongs. So, and I again spend 20 to 25 bucks on some nice tongs because these things break. The spring mechanism will break. I like these ones that have the rubber on them. You'll use them because you'll flip scallops, you'll flip things around, and you're going to want to have the precision of the tongs. However, do not use these on a grill. You will burn them. You'll melt plastic onto your delicious steaks. Use grill tongs. Now you can see the difference because they're metal
Yeah.
and they have the length on them. They're about
They're
6 inches
big.
longer than the
Yeah,
regular
they're
tong. They're
big.
big, and you get in there and flip your steak, flip your burger, yada yada yada. So just want to show the difference between the regular tongs, the grill tongs.
Yeah.
Um, lastly, two things very important: spatulas, baby spatulas. The precision that you can get with the little baby spatulas. Now, and this is another argument in our home because my husband does cook too. This spatula is old. This is so old. I have thrown it in the trash 3 times. He digs it out of the trash. He disinfects it.
I
He
get it.
has to make it. He has to make his eggs with this particular spatula. But here's why I hate it. Look at that. It gets mildewy up there. Disgusting.
We have a wooden kind of spoon with a rubber thing on the end. And
Those are good too, but the wood gets all nasty.
well, I
The
have to
insert.
pull it out every time, wash it out, and let it dry separately. And it's like, please don't use that damn thing. We have so many. We have the same thing you have, all the utensils, and
Right.
why do you have to use that one? We have so many other ones.
So none of these are super expensive. That OXO brand that's at Bed Bath& Beyond and Target is very accessible. Whisks, I'm obsessed with whisks. I'm even more obsessed with baby whisks and mini whisks. Of course, it's not around.
Why
I don't
would
know
you
where it went.
use a mini whisk? Because
Oh,
every
here it
time
is.
I need to whisk something, I need a big
So,
whisk.
for example, if I'm whisking, I open up 6 to 8 eggs, and we're gonna make a big thing, right? We're gonna do the
Right.
whole scramble. Big whisk. I'm making my salad dressing that only has 4 tablespoons plus some herbs in it.
Got it.
Mini whisk. So you just kind of get more precision with it, right? If
Yeah.
I am whisking a tiny little thing, baby whisk.
Yeah, we
These
have that
things are
damn thing.
literally
I always used to think Serena's just throwing money away, but you guys actually use that, right?
we use this stuff. Yep. And I'm kind of the same way with the spatulas too, because I like the precision of it. I have a thing like if I'm mixing something up and I want to put it into the recipe, I like the spatula because it gets all the stuff out. I don't like wasting anything, but that's just because I probably have OCD, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, can openers. Oh, obsessed with these citrus squeezers. Don't even try to get the one where you do that. I have them decoratively and they're beautiful. This citrus press, this is by the way, I actually broke one because I used it for so long for so many years. Acid broke the mechanism. So this is the second one, and I even bought another one. Um, cutting boards. You
Wait,
want variety of cutting boards? Yes.
can I give people one of my little things I use my
Oh
citrus
yeah, totally,
for?
totally.
I
Hmm.
will take ginger and put it in there and press it
Hmm. And
just
that's
to get
great.
the essence. Like if I'm having like a bourbon or something, I'll get the essence of ginger in there. So you see, I'm not adding
Well,
sugar or anything. I'm just getting just a little spritz of essence. You'd be shocked at what that will do to a bourbon.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, microplane grater. Absolutely obsessed with this and its flatter cousin. Where is it? There it is. Microplane. They're not that expensive. I believe this was $15, the thin one. That's the OG. And then here's another one. For Parmesan, for zesting citrus, for ginger. You just have to cut off the outside of the ginger, and I sit there and scrape the ginger. In fact, no, I cleaned it good enough. Sometimes you're like,
The
what did I
smell
make
like
with that?
that.
Yeah.
That's how
Clean it
you
well.
cooking gets good when you got other stuff
You
leaching
get the
in.
old stuff.
Yeah, of
So, and I used to make limoncello years ago before
course.
NSNG.
Yeah.
And so, as you know, you tasted my limoncello. I had several of these, and this is a throwback. It says, what does that say? Limoncello
Limoncello
only.
only. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one used to be just for the, because I didn't want the cheese to get in the limoncello. No.
Yeah.
Um, here's another thing that I use a lot of, that I have two of them, meat hammer.
Yeah. Hammer
If you
time.
have a sirloin, if you have chicken breasts or chicken thighs you want to pound out to be equally thin, you're going to use this thing a lot. And this, the spiked end of it will tenderize the meat, and then the
Mhm.
flat end of it will just, but my trick is that's when you can use wax paper or saran wrap. So you want to put it, or else you're going to have chicken bits flying all over
Right.
the kitchen. So, oh, I forgot about this. That'll look pretty in a picture. Look at that.
What is that?
It's like a, it's like a spatula slash wooden spoon. I don't know that I would ever use this to cook. It's not practical. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I'll put it in a picture.
Yeah.
Um, meat thermometer. Where's my other one?
That used to be my
Um,
phone.
yeah. Of course, measuring cups, measuring spoons, all of that stuff. And my pro tip is, let me show you this. Somebody gave me these recently and I haven't done it yet. This is my pet peeve. My pet peeve
Why?
when they're attached. I don't like them attached. You see that? That's a whole thing of
Mhm.
unattached
Yeah.
tablespoons, teaspoons, whatnot. Because I know I mostly use tablespoons when I'm making my own salad dressing every night. So I
Yeah.
use these every night. So I don't want a whole thing, and then you wash it, and these splatter the water up on your shirt. I don't need all that. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. So that's that. Um, where's the other pastry brushes I use? But usually just to like rub oil on stuff. What was I? Oh, meat thermometer. Just another meat thermometer. That's magnetic. I didn't realize that I'm magnetic. Okay, I have another meat thermometer that's the actual, has a dial on it that you shove into the meat. It's great. And now I've discovered this thing. It was literally 15, 12 bucks and it's instant. Oh, it's 74.7 degrees in here. This thing, boom, stick it in your chicken thigh, stick it in I put it in the tri-tip because you want to get the tri-tip to a certain temperature, take it off, switch it around. Uh, you're going to use that. And
Anna,
if you
let's have this. Earlier in the show, we were talking about being afraid of cooking.
right,
And, one of my biggest fears, because I gave myself salmonella one time with chicken
right,
back when I was in
right.
college.
Oh,
Um,
that's right.
I got to tell you, these thermometers, they're cheap. You can have them. We use them up because Serena is scared of chicken too. You don't want it to get,
Everybody should be a little afraid of chicken.
yeah, for $12, you can have a thing that tells you, I think, what is it, 165 or 175? And
Um,
this,
I would like for you guys to focus on the temperature of 180 at the dark meat bone,
yeah.
to make sure things are cooked through. If
Okay.
you feel like you're overcooking the white meat, if you're roasting a whole chicken, because roasting a whole chicken too is often what I hear from people that they're intimidated by.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this meat thermometer is the freedom to be able to make any cut of meat and not over or undercook it. So
Yeah.
I like to
It
stick to
changes
180.
everything, right?
If you're roasting a whole chicken and you feel like you might be overdoing it, it's called tenting. You just put some foil over the breast part of the chicken,
Yeah.
and that will keep it moist. But I want to look at this. I got a little ribeye. I got a little New York because we're a divided household.
Yeah.
I like ribeyes. He likes New York. So yeah, the meat thermometer is very, very crucial to success. And then yeah, listen, I know I've gone through a lot of things. You're probably gonna have stuff left over from your other life too, right? You're gonna have if you like to bake, you're gonna have cookie scoopers. If you eat ice cream, you're gonna have ice cream scoopers. If you you have clips You have, things like that from your old life. That's okay. You'll use them. You can still wrap up, seal off a bag and use a chip clip on it. You just won't be eating chips. That's great. Cookie scoopers I use all the time. I have three different sizes of cookie scoopers. You can either use them to scoop out, for meatballs. You can scoop out whatever, the sausage balls, like stuff like that you're making. You will use those things again. The one thing I never used again until very recently was the big Cuisinart, the KitchenAid mixer, the standing mixer. And I'm not going to get it. It's enormous. It's a beast. So Lauren, I said for years, I want this thing. And he's so good at getting me Christmas presents. He got me that for Christmas one year. And I baked and baked and baked and baked and baked until I met Vinny. Then I stopped baking, which is for the best. And I'm very happy about that. And I didn't use this thing. And in fact, it was in a closet. And then I was like, I am going to I got the meat grinder attachment. And now I've been making burger blends so you
Nice.
can grind your own meat, make burger blends, make sausage blends. So for example, I have a whole thing of sirloin here that I'm thawing. I have a whole thing of giant sirloin steak from our local ranch share. And I am not going to cook this as a steak. I am going to either grind it up in a burger blend with some short ribs, or I am going to chop it up and make a stew out of it. Because I don't like sirloin steaks, like just plain sirloin. That's why you won't find any sirloin steak restaurants. I don't like them.
I'm not a big
Um,
sirloin fan, but I'll tell folks sirloin is better than top sirloin. Top sirloin, even though
that's true.
it would be the better version, top sirloin is not as good because it says top. You think, oh, it's got to be better. Sirloin is better than top sirloin, but what Anna has in that
What
pan
is
right
this?
now is so much better than,
Yeah,
um,
pasture raised beef sirloin. That's all
yeah,
that
so
is.
that's probably the better cut of sirloin, but having a strip is pretty good. Having that ribeye next to it, now you're really talking. Um, that's
You
too good
know,
meat.
here's the thing. You know how I mean, it's not like we never go to a steakhouse, but we don't go to a steakhouse very often
We
anymore
don't do it anymore.
because
It's too expensive.
it's so expensive. And hold on. And this is from an expensive grocery store near me. And let's see what the prices were.
She's
Those
digging,
are expensive. Okay, the New York was $15.
right?
The ribeye was $30.
Okay,
That's
interesting.
that's expensive. And it's Friday night tonight. We're making steak for Friday night. But so we splurged. But I will tell you, this ribeye at the restaurant is at least $70.
Okay, let me put it to you in other terms. If you're taking three people out to a steak restaurant, no drinks, no drinks. Let's keep drinks out of it. I'm just saying, let's leave drinks out of it, right?
Right?
No drinks. Count on $100 per person. You're taking three people out, that's
Oh,
$300.
$100 a head. Yeah.
$100 a head. So that's without drinks.
Not even with drinks.
And that's splitting an appetizer pretty much. And, so if Anna and her husband was going out tonight to eat these steaks,
Uh-huh.
you would be looking at $200 before the tip, which is 20%,
So,
looking at $240. She's cooking this meal for $45.
right.
It's
Well, also,
fraction.
I will say this is a much larger ribeye than we usually get. However, I am not going to apologize for wanting to allocate my dollars to yummy food. I will always do that. It's just a priority of mine.
It's
I
Friday night. You go for it, baby. No, now, Anna,
It's
tell
Friday.
the people what you're doing because this is the
I always say
right here.
yes. I always say I don't have jewelry or handbags or shoes, but I'll eat a ribeye when I want to eat a ribeye. You know what I'm saying?
Same here.
Right now, I have the Eat Happy Kitchen barbecue dust. It smells. It
Yeah.
smells so
I'm
good.
anticipating because I had this last night. We did the porterhouse. We do the big two
Right.
and a half, 3 pound porterhouse, and she and I, we split it. So that means you're both getting some filet and some ribeye, basically.
I might be putting. Do you think I'm putting too much on here?
No, there is no such thing as too much. It just caramelizes on there. Now, are you
See
going
the
to?
fatty. See the fatty end of the.
Yeah, you rub that in. Yeah,
Yeah.
you see, that's a pro move. She's a pro, folks. Anna, are you going to add a little salt to that?
I am not. To me, it's salted enough. I created barbecue dust
Little
to be.
Malden
You,
salt.
It's salted enough for everyone. Okay, I'll do it.
No,
It's salted enough for everyone but Vinny Tortorich.
yeah, I love me some salt. Throw a little
Hey,
salt
I
in there.
reposted your modeling pic from 1991 today, and I called you a legend. I refrained from calling you a gay icon.
Yeah, it was. I was a gay icon. Um, and the gay community loved me back then. Um, and then they dropped me like first period French as soon as Mark Wahlberg came along. Marky Mark.
Marky Mark.
Yeah,
All right, look, you want me to do the Maldine?
yeah. You get the Malden salt.
Do you do this too? Do you keep a thing of Maldon
Yeah. I got my own
in the
thing.
bowl?
But yeah, I have a little silver bowl. And whenever I eat, Serena, if I'm doing it in front of television, she puts it on my TV tray. Or if we're at the dinner table, she puts it right in front of me. I keep salt. I have a propensity for salt that no one else in the world has.
Lucy Charquinio has that propensity for salt.
And by the
Ever since she was a baby, she would eat the salt. By the way, when I will go and just eat this as a little snack. So I crunch it. I just walk.
that's what I put in my Villa Capelli too. I take them all. Now, here's
Yeah.
Dr. Anthony J. Whenever he took my 23andMe and then ran it through a deeper test over at
Mm-hmm.
look
That's
at
the
that.
New York.
You're gonna put the butter on top of that, Anna? You're gonna put
Well, Lauren's doing it on the grill, so maybe I'll finish
Oh.
it with the butter. But
Yeah.
if not, he'll just grill it and it'll be.
You know what? Do some drawn butter and just have it ready to rock and roll.
That's a good idea. And that gives me a chance to talk about I want to hear about your 23andMe. I want to talk about some butter stuff.
What's that? What do you have there? What?
Okay, so you know how there's different butter fat content in different butters that you buy? We couldn't get Kerrygold for a little while, and I don't know the exact content that's in Kerrygold, but it's really hard to kind of unify what the butter fat content. Same thing happens when you buy heavy cream. You buy this heavy cream, it's got this much fat. You buy that heavy cream, it's got that much fat. Oh, I just realized that my Horizon heavy cream has gellan gum in it. I didn't even realize it. I'm very bummed about that. This brand, Plugra, which is a play on the French plus gras, which means a lot of fat.
Mhm.
It's actually it's American style, but it's actually it's a French style butter, but it's actually an American company that makes it. It's 82% butter fat. So I've been using this butter.
Nice.
So what I would do to make it, which I'm not going to start it just yet, take the smallest of my little sauciers and just heat some of that drawn butter. So I will do that with Plugra. There it is. And now I will tell you this. If you get the Villa Capelli olive oil, which you should, you want to make sure that if you decant it or keep it on your stove, if you're using these burners, I always make sure to move this away because it will age the
you don't want your
oil.
olive oil getting hot.
Yeah.
No, it becomes rancid. While Anna's taking a drink, I'll tell you guys really quickly. Dr. Anthony J. took my 20.
Oh yeah, I want to hear this.
And this is when he was still at Mayo Clinic. This guy's a genius, and he was able to do deeper dives. He figured out that I was both from Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal, so I have a little bit of both. Thus, all the hair on my body. The length.
Is it really that really does a direct correlation between the hair on your body?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But I came from both. And here's the thing. When he was doing the thing, he goes, Serena was in on this, and he goes, do you get a lot of salt? And Serena says, oh, he dumped salt on everything, and then he put salt on top of the salt. He said, you're one of those people that can't get enough salt. Your body I need constant salt, right? Everything has to be oversalted for me. It's crazy.
I should tell that
like that since I was a
she's
kid.
been that way. Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut.
I just have a couple more things and we're going to wrap it up because I know we have a hard out. Everything you cook, stove or oven or grill. If I like something cooked a certain way, I'm going to give you that instruction. If something can be made in the oven, the stove, or the grill, I'll give you all those directions. I love a slow cooker. I have an Instant Pot. We've talked about this at length. I believe if you're going to buy one of the two of those, spend your money on a slow cooker. You don't have to buy a super expensive one. My slow cooker has a mechanism where you can brown stuff and then turn it to the slow cooking method. That's kind of nice to brown a roast. You don't have to, though. It's not necessary. You don't always
Which brand do
have to
you
brown
have,
a roast.
Anna?
I believe it's Cuisinart slow cooker. I have it again, it's all on my site. I have the Instant Pot, which I use all the time. I save my bones. Don't save bones that people have eaten off of. So clean bones that you've cut off. Save your bones, your chicken bones, your steak bones, and make broth with it. Please.
Yeah.
I guarantee you're going to have some celery or some onion or some carrot or some herbs that could all be thrown, or garlic that's growing the little tail out of it because you hadn't used the garlic yet. Throw it all in, make the broth, put lots of salt in there, and just nurse on that. That is the elixir of life. And you can just continue to make bones. And if you feel like you're not going to get around to making the broth anytime soon, just have a Ziploc bag that you throw it all in the freezer, and then you can literally dump it in your Instant Pot or your slow cooker and make your broth. So those two items I do use a lot, but you don't have to do the Instant Pot. Uh, I talked about earlier, Katie Applegate Schmacks convinced me to get an air fryer after years of y'all asking me about air fryers. I got the Kasori. That's what I'm looking at here. I'll show you. It's good. I like it. I've been roasting chicken in there. I've been roasting burgers, meatballs. I've been roasting cauliflower with the barbecue dust with the dill. Um, it's actually quite manageable. This is the thing, and then it's like you pull this thing out and you place it in there, and it's like a little convection oven, is what it is. It's a mini convection oven. So a lot of y'all have air fryer settings now on new stoves that come out, new ovens that come out. You can use that. You don't have to have the air fryer. It is convenient sometimes because I feel like I'm not dirtying up a whole thing. But I do like it. I do like it a lot. And I'm trying to think about, cutting boards. I was starting to talk about this cutting board. There was a listener of our early shows who made this for me, and I still use it. You want to keep your wooden cutting boards. In fact, it's time to do this with mineral oil.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat mineral oil, but you can use it to keep your wooden cutting boards nice. I do use a white plastic cutting board for chicken, and I keep it separate. I have a lot of cutting boards. I even have little stuff. Like I like to keep, you just have little things that you can just cut stuff up with. So I don't get super fancy. I don't have those cutting boards that have the little receptacles in them. And if you like it, that's great. Use them. I managed to build this kitchen, and it's pretty big, and there's still some drawers and cabinets that aren't full, and I'd like to keep it that way. So I have to keep my kitchen gadget addiction low.
Right.
But that being said, we have two slow cookers, an Instant Pot, an air fryer, uh, and we use them. So it's like there are some days where there's a carnitas in one thing and a broth in another thing and a chili in another thing, and just things are going. So we like to batch cook stuff and have that done. But yeah, that's basically the kitchen 101. If you've been going through making a list, it's all at my site. Or, if you feel like you're missing something, or if you have questions or something I forgot to touch on, Vinny would be able to tell about what kind of coffee you're going to want to make and what kind of coffee makers and stuff like that. So follow his Pure Coffee Club account on Instagram, because everybody has their opinions about coffee, but his is the right opinion. Vinny tells me, hey, get this coffee maker. He's never been wrong. Like, I've gotten it and it's amazing. So I'm just trying to think of what else obviously the basics, plates, bowls, spoons. Oh, I like that hat.
Oh, it says Stallion on it. You see it right there?
That's awesome.
Serena gave me this
That's awesome. That's good.
the other day, and I like it. It's colorful. It's yellow. I'm Italian. We like the color. And
Yeah. I say that, but I always wear black.
maybe
yeah.
you should get one for your husband too. They have one that
I know. I like it.
There's one with a rooster on it. She says, and it says cock, and she thought of getting me that one. So I said, you can get me that one too. Oh, look at you
doing this. Doing this. Hold on, the titties hanging out.
No, nothing. Look, I'm still here. Sometimes water splashes on you when you clean up all the spoons. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Taking that one with
me. My mind is going. Oh, I want to say this. One splurge that I did, and I freaking love this. I'm obsessed. I need to wash this out. Somebody put some gluten in there. I'm obsessed with wooden bowls. People who carve these things, they're like, have you ever carved anything? Are you a whittler or a carver?
I whittle just a little bit. My sister-in-law gave me a whittle kit for Christmas that I haven't used yet, but I'm thinking about doing dugout type things now.
They're gorgeous. If you find the right piece of wood, I splurged on that. Then, like, Lauren gave me this one. There's a guy around here who does this is oh, it's podocarpus. This is podocarpus,
Yeah.
which is a tree that grows really fast here in California. But like, I don't know. I'm obsessed with the bowls.
As you know, I'm obsessed with wood, everything.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
I
And I
kind
still have
of,
you can't see it, but I have the Villa Capelli, the olive wood cutting board
I'm so
that Paul
sorry
carved.
that I didn't get one before Paul passed away.
I know.
I mentioned to Joey Schott just in passing when we were building my cedar strip kayak. I said, you know, the old way that the Cajuns made the pirogue, those wooden boats, is they carved them out of a whole tree.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, it'd be a lot of hand working tools. I'll buy all the tools. And he went, yeah, okay. But he was rolling his eyes. I could tell he was rolling his eyes. But knowing Joey, I think there was a little piece of him where he was like, yeah, I'd like to maybe know what that is, you know? So we may end up carving a canoe, basically a pirogue,
Okay.
which is
How could I convince you to carve me some bowls?
I would have to look into the type of wood that's needed and the tools, and then I can go into my shed and probably do something pretty rudimentary. To get those finishes, I don't know how to get those. I would probably have to buy some tools to finish it. But one of the things you have to do at some point, you have to drill through it to see how thin you're getting.
Right.
And then you have to plug those holes at the end. So if you in your bowl, and the good guys, they can plug it where you can never see it. Right? They know how to figure out, but figure out how thin you're getting.
Unless this is a separate piece, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, but you got to see how thin you get.
No, I don't think so, because the grain goes through.
Yeah, the good ones know how to do it. You know, just they're doing it on a machine because the CNC machine knows exactly where to stop.
Knives. We didn't really talk about knives. Buy the best knives that you can. That's all I can tell you. And then have Vinny sharpen them for you if you can. I'll miss you living near me to sharpen my knives.
Vinny even sharpens his own lawnmower blades. I have one.
That's awesome.
I have one of those big grinding wheels in my garage. You know, it's a big thick piece. I do my axes. I do my shovels. I sharp everything. You can shave with my shovel or my axe or my lawnmower blade. You know, I'm into. I can sharpen something. Yeah.
I want to see you shave with your axe.
Yeah.
That's new content.
That's how I get it close. You know, that wouldn't be a bad video.
That would be really funny.
People would probably go, "Hey, Vin, do some garage stuff. Let's see what you're doing in that garage."
People don't know the amount of cool garage shit that you have.
Well, you saw it when I didn't have space. Now everything is spread out and everything is out there.
Yeah, now you have a big East Coast estate.
Yeah, I'm Gran Torino in that garage, and they're grinding axes and field axes and everything. I got everything.
Gran Torino was on when I turned on the TV the other day, and he was saying something, and I almost filmed it and put it up. It said actual footage of Vinny Tortorich.
Jesus Christ.
All right, we did it.
All right.
Cooking equipment 101. Plus, I started dinner, so multitask for me.
Folks, Anna Vocino, you can find all of this at annavocino.com or eathappykitchen.com. That's where she's holding one of her gravies right now, known as the sauce. That looks like the arrabbiata. Hold it closer. Yeah, that's my favorite. The arrabbiata. It's a little spicy. Give it a try. The crema is also crema used to be my favorite until the arrabbiata came around. Go check out everything she's doing. She put the barbecue rub on those steaks. Folks, I know what you're thinking. Barbecue on? No, it comes out like this caramely tasting. It's the best tasting thing. I can't have steak without it. Another reason I don't go to restaurants. Now, it's not just the cost. I can make better at home because of Anna Vocino. Go check out everything at annavocino.com. You know what else you need to do? Go check out her books, Eat Happy and Eat Happy 2. 2 is spelled T-O-O. There's a little play on words there. You know what to do with me. Before you go to Amazon, go to VinnyTartaries.com. While you're at VinnyTartaries.com, we have the NSNG ebook. Had a woman tell me this woman only knew me from Instagram. She didn't learn about me from Corolla or Mike Rose.
Oh, wow.
She only knew me from Instagram, and she did a consult. And I said, you know, I have this NSNG ebook. She goes, Where can I get back? She had no idea. She just
Oh, wow.
signed up at the website, but she didn't know she can also get this thing for $10. So go get it. If you think I'm lying, her name was Erin. Erin from
Well, hi, Erin. Shout out to Erin.
Arizona. Yeah, she's a new fan. I just
Her name is Erin Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know where she is on Instagram. I just know she lives in Scottsdale.
Oh.
So Anna said during the show, she mentioned flat bottom pans. So that is the song here.
Great.
So, on behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinny Tortorich. Put life into living, and let's do it with the boys. Let's do it with Queen and Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, Anna.
They look good, right?
Yeah, they do. I wish I was at your house eating tonight.
Yeah, me too.
Unbelievable.
I'm gonna put a little salt on there as soon as they come out.
How long did
Okay.
you put those tomatoes in to get that?
I don't know, when did I put them in? Maybe 20 minutes ago? 25 minutes ago?
Was it? It seems longer than that, but about 20
30?
minutes.
I did 350.
Perfect.
I'll be honest with you. I forgot I put them in, and I smelled them when I walked over there. Like, oh, that's ready. By the way, that's a great way to know things are ready when you start to
Yeah,
smell
when you start to smell them.